Hi, my name is Joe, and I am going to answer your interview questions. How do you hone your translation skills in your free time? This is tricky when you're a translator because I find that you have to expose yourself to a lot of quality writing in your target language in particular. However, it's hard to do that when your eyes are tired from a long day or a long week of translation. So I try to find sneaky ways, sort of stolen moments when I can be exposed to quality text in English, because I think that's just absolutely vital. And listening to podcasts and things like that, watching television does not cut it. It's not the same as watching or reading quality nonfiction in particular. So one thing I do is I buy a lot of books on Audible, and I listen to audiobooks when I go get the mail every day, and when I'm driving the car to go pick up my son from school and things like that. So audiobooks are one part of the answer, and then I also go to the library once a week with my 6-year-old son. So it's a good opportunity for him to check out lots of books, and I always check out 1 or 2 books for myself as well. So I make it a ritual to make sure I get some quality writing in my diet, if you will, in my reading diet every week. Your next question is, would having any formal translation qualifications be helpful in a career? Yes, absolutely. So I think that becoming certified or recognized by your local association or professional order or whatever that certifying body is, I think that's a good thing for any translator. I personally am OTX certified, and I think that being certified by some kind of formal organization helps make sure you have the skills you need to have a successful career. It also gives you a lot of self-assurance. And I would add to that, perhaps most importantly, it gives you a network, a community of like-minded people that you can turn to when you have questions, when you need some reassurance about things, when you're wondering how much to charge, all those kinds of things. So networking is maybe the biggest benefit I've found from belonging to my local translation association. Here in Quebec, Canada, that's called the Ordre des traducteurs, terminologues et interprètes agréés du Québec, OTAC. Next question, what aspect or type of translation do you find most difficult? That's a good question. I basically find technical translation most difficult because I'm just not a technical kind of person. I do really well with social sciences. I do well with marketing. I do well with general translation, but I have a hard time wrapping my mind around technical texts and manuals and things like that. So I just don't do them. I just turn those jobs down and recommend other people, and I focus on my strengths. And that's how I've built a fantastic career, basically consistently embracing my strengths and letting other people do things that require skills that I do not possess. Question number 4, since there are a lot of advancements in our technology, what makes you unique in your translation approach? Good question. I would say that in particular, I teach syntax, English syntax, and so I'm really passionate about syntax, and I love texts that have syntax challenges. So I find that marketing translation fits really well with my skill set as a syntax expert. Also, things like academic translation and highly visible text, things for museums, things like that, they tend to really have a lot of good syntax challenges, so more so than just everyday texts. And so again, that ties in with what I said earlier. I try to embrace my strengths. I try to translate texts that require my unique skills. And for me, that's really where I shine, is English syntax and crafting text that really leap off the page. Next question, how do you work with clients in general? How do you manage difficult situations? So I tell clients right from the get-go that I have a collaborative approach. They will not be left on their own. I won't just throw things at them via email and then let them figure it out. No, right from the first contact with the client, I suggest that we do a quick Zoom call to get to know each other. And then when I have questions on the translation, I'll suggest a quick call. And of course, I will bill that time. Clients expect it. It's never been a problem in the past. But I try to find every touch point I can where I can actually meet with a client on Zoom. I find that's more effective than phone, and it helps to build a personal relationship. So once you have a personal relationship with a client, you're on a first name basis, then I found they tend to value your services a lot more. They tend to see your added value when you're able to answer their questions and proactively identify solutions. So I'm a huge believer in working collaboratively. I don't profess to have all the answers with the translation. I'll ask my client, hey, is this really what you meant here? Or if I give you 2 potential translations, which one would be closest to what you're trying to say? So I really sell my added value as a translator who has a collaborative approach. And the other component I would say in terms of good relationships is I really believe in expressing appreciation. A lot of translators I've worked with and coached just sort of send very formal emails or quick emails back and forth with their client, but never take the time to really express how much they love working for them. So I make sure to sprinkle my text with things like, this was such a fascinating project, or I really admire what you guys are doing over at this nonprofit. So I try to find ways to express appreciation, or sometimes I'll just tell a client, I think it's wonderful, the positive change that you're doing through your organization, or I'd be happy to connect with you on LinkedIn if I can help you spread the word about your upcoming initiative. So I try to really show appreciation because, you know what, clients are humans too, and I think they need validation just like everyone else. So if you can go beyond to just email contact and meet with your clients, and if you can express genuine appreciation for them, for what they do, and for the work they give you, I find that you will have a flood of work waiting for you in your inbox, because a lot of translators do not do these things.